education, training and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for the community. So those are the 7.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of those are really important to you?
Without the list in front of me, it would be the biggest principle is the cooperative working for its members and giving the best value to its members is and work cooperative with its members, and the members come first. Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about democratic member control. Do you find that's important?
I think you've got to be a member of the cooperative to make sure that they're the only ones that can benefit from it all. Yeah, if you're not a member of the cooperative, well, no, you shouldn't get the benefits. No.
So do you have? Do you vote? Do you go to the AGMs?
Yeah.
Okay, so you attend the AGMs and vote. What's the AGM turnout like amongst your fellow growers and yourselves?
It's like any meeting you go to. Like I'm on the Shire Councils here, and put it this way, if you've got a bit of controversy in the cooperative or the group, you'll get a large turnout and a very vocal, loud noise, and people will attend strongly. If everything's running smoothly, you'll probably have a lesser crowd because everybody's happy. So just after the last turmoil with the CBH, it was very, very noisy, very strong. That a few growers were trying to fill their back pockets, and a couple of private companies were trying to gobble up all the good work that we'd established over the years that CBH had come to. And I think we were becoming a bit of a thorn in the side for some of the private companies. So they were offering good money to virtually dissolve CBH and pick up the pickings themselves. So it was a pretty sad thing. So nowadays that things are running smoothly, the meetings themselves are attended and are very civil, and good ideas are passed forward to the directors and members of ideas for the future empowerment and strength of CBH.
What made okay, so a lot of you attended that meeting to voice. Why did you go there to voice your opinion, and what was your opinion, and why was it?
Well, the principle that the CBH was started up was first, these guys are going to try and dissolve it. So therefore, all the years that we've established all these things, they were going to cash us out at a pittance, which would not even have covered the paintwork on the buildings that we did. And virtually, absolutely, in about 3 to 5 years, we would have been paying exorbitant prices, and all the monies and benefits that we would have got back from the private companies would have been lost in the higher fees and storage and handling, and let alone our ability to be able to trade grain at our price, and not the would have been traded as a private company's prices. So we would have been just going backwards nearly 100 years. And you think, well, why? It was basically for the private companies to fill their back pockets. A few business guys that were virtually getting out of farming, or had probably a bit of financial trouble earlier, and they were going to fill their back pockets and virtually screw the guys that were bloody had set this up. And certainly, as a cooperative, you don't screw your own people. These guys are going to do it and be happy to walk away with the money. So I think it was very, very strong belief of the reasons why we did set the cooperative up in the initial stage to protect that. And it was quite easily proven. 78% of growers voted and agreed that this was the way it should stay and not to be changed.
And how did you feel about that?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was just the support by the growers themselves to say, no, we want the status quo, we want what we had. We enjoy the privileges of what CBH have provided us over the lifetime that CBH has been forever growing and forever putting the right runs on the board for its members. So to me, why change something that is state-of-the-art? It's a track-proven record. And why give it away to a private company that's virtually burn your bridges? Have a look at South Australia. They in New South Wales, they virtually would cry for the facilities and the organisation that we've got, because they've been manipulated by the private companies.
And why do you think private companies can't operate better than the cooperative?
Principally, because we work together, don't work against each other. But they're there to fill the shareholders' back pockets, and most of the shareholders are sitting on nice fine leather lounge suites and have nothing to do with farming whatsoever. So they don't care; they just want their money, and they need to be rewarded every year. Whereas the farmers themselves know when you have a high and a low year, you ride the tide. So, and all the excess profits and things like that we have, we can put back into facilities that better our farming abilities.
What about education, training and information? Does the co-op provide you with a lot of that when it comes to educating, training you, providing information on the cooperative?
Oh, it's like anything. You ring the support desk and whatever you want, it would be heard to. And if you need some education and training, they will find the facilities for you and the ability to be able to do it, yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of the 6 cooperative values?
Yeah, probably I have, yeah, but it's
okay.
likewise to the other 7, yeah.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. There's the 7 co-op principles, and then there's the 6 cooperative values.
Yep.
They're based around things like self-help, self-responsibility, democracy, equality, equity, and solidarity. Has the co-op actually educated you on these?
Well, they sent me for a university course for a week that I did and studied in depth, but a lot of it is common sense and good values to your neighbours, yeah.
Okay,
so,
no problems. All right, cool. We'll move on to the last part, which is around the roles that you play within your cooperative. What type of roles do you believe that you play in your co-op?
Well, my role as a GAC is that you bring information from the local growers back to the directors and meetings in Perth. We have 4 or 5 meetings a year, and just to enlighten them. These are the things that the farmers are thinking out there already. Enlighten them to some thoughts or how farmers would like it to be better, and just that you spread in some information back to your local growers of some of the things that the CBH are actually thinking of. Not that there's some of the information that we don't bring back out of the meetings we have in Perth, but generally as a farmer, talking amongst ourselves just to make sure that we can get good value to be able to make good business decisions for our grain and for the cooperative's future.
Okay, so that's for information. What other role do you feel that you play with your cooperative?
I don't know, just probably trying to hand things on to the future generations to enlighten them the reasons why we do things, why we've done things.
Well, I mean, you're a patron, right? So obviously you use the facilities.
Yeah.
So you supply the grain and you use their services. So we call that a patron role.
Right.
Do you consider yourself? I mean, that's what you're doing anyway. You do patron with them. Do you consider yourself an investor and an owner of the cooperative?
I think I am an investor, but everything I invest in, I get rewarded back for every dollar I put in. I think I've got the rewards and benefits back from the CBH group.
Okay, you mean through being a patron?
Yeah.
Do you think you're an owner of the cooperative?
No, I have the use of the cooperative. I don't think really I'm an owner for every. My ownership value is returned in the supplies and values that the cooperative provides, like our lower storage and handling, our grain trading arm gives us that value back.
Okay, so an owner, how do you feel when you see like the CBH logo or something like that?
Proud, very proud.
And is that proudness? Why do you have that proudness?
Because you are a part of it, and to me, it is a fantastic business arm. It's provided great things for all rural communities in Western